5. Octopus with tuna pork. Panna cotta for 42. After that panna cotta.
Server, please.
Since the year 2000, I've carried around a Food and Wine magazine cover in my wallet, and I promised myself I wouldn't take it out until I got on that cover as a Best New Chef.
It's really about treating the ingredients with respect and just treating them properly and cooking them properly and letting them speak for themselves.
We don't have a menu and we just write stuff down on the chalkboard. We can kind of do whatever we want.
We're here giving you bone marrow sandwiches and you're excited about it, so I can't ask for much more than that, right?
It's a great honor.
We don't actually look for the person, we look for the food. So we go to a restaurant and we say, is this the best food we've eaten all year? Is this the most innovative dish we've ever tried? Does this guy have something going on that's really, really interesting? And when we've answered that question about the dish, then we go to the chef behind and he gets the award.
It's kind of nice to have someone say, yeah, we see what you're doing and you're excelling in your field.
The photo shoot day at New York started at 7 a.m. The alarm going off, and it's an hour I don't see an awful lot of. What I remember most about that morning was just this camaraderie amongst the 10 chefs.
You know, I was nervous about meeting the other chefs. You know, I'm quite a shy person and I didn't know how I'd interact. We had a couple of glasses of champagne and we kind of tried to just, you know, enjoy ourselves and have a laugh.
No way, man. No way, that's not, no way.
And everyone was down to earth, and it was very nice surprise to find that it wasn't a clash of egos and, you know, well, my restaurant does this. Everyone was interested in everyone else, so that's probably what I remember the most.
But I wasn't as nervous as the awards ceremony. I couldn't cope. I was sweaty and pounding hard.
Welcome to 2007 Best New Chefs Awards. We are so thrilled for you all to be here.
April Bloomfield from the Spotted Pig, New York City! Paul Durant from B in Western Springs, Illinois. I want you to all show your appreciation for amazing food in America today by screaming and clapping for this class.
I'm gonna cook one of my favorite dishes today. This is lamb on sous vide. The lamb in its package, thyme, garlic, butter, salt and pepper. Next step, we're gonna put it into the immersion circulator. And I set this at 145. I never lose my moisture of the lamb. We got all of the juices on the outside. Now we wanna seal them in by just giving it a quick sear. We marinated the eggplant in olive oil, garlic, butter, thyme. We're gonna take that, we're just gonna give it a quick sear. The spinach, get that in the pan. We're gonna add a little bit of butter. I mean, let's be honest, fat's flavor. We gotta make sure we have fat in the dish, okay? Now we're gonna turn the lamb. Now, one of the most important parts with the lamb dish is you wanna make sure you're basting it. The lamb's cooked to perfection. I've got a natural lamb reduction. Fresh micro arugula, just to finish off. Lamb loin on sous vide.
Aspen is such a trip. It's so much fun. It's just party after party and amazing seminars. And there's also so much wine, and you have to balance the wine with the water.
We gave it a premium MyGig media system for music, photos, and 3D maps. Added leather-trimmed seats that swivel 180 degrees and exclusive Sirius satellite TV. Then we merged it all with an incredibly smooth ride. The all-new Chrysler Town & Country with the best powertrain warranty in the business. Chrysler, engineered beautifully.
Our core mission is to expose readers to new foods, to new experiences, to things that they've never seen, never tasted, that haven't been tried, that didn't exist 5 years ago. That's why the Best New Chefs program exists, to help unearth these people and shine a spotlight on chefs who are doing work that really is going to drive the entire world of food forward.
They can be from anywhere. They can be cooking almost any kind of food as long as it's creative and delicious. The kind of rules are, though, they have to have been cooking for at least 1 year, but not more than 5 years in charge of their own kitchen.
I get up, I have a cup of tea, I take a shower, I have another cup of tea, I go to work, I have a cup of tea, and I start work, and I pretty much do that 12 hours, yeah.
The spark, I think, has always been there to ultimately own my own establishment. I was fortunate enough to meet my wife, and that was her goal as well. So it made it a lot easier to get over some of the hurdles and get there together.
We don't want this restaurant to be about us. We want to give the 5-star experience with dining, the food, the service, the wine, but it's going to be like you're at your friend's house.
I consider myself to be a very humble chef. I like to acknowledge my staff, front of the house, back of the house, from the dishwashers to the janitors to everybody involved, because it's not a one-man show.
We find the best new chefs by, first we solicit nominations from people in the food world, from past best new chefs and food writers and journalists in different cities.
This is really where the fun part begins, because then the editors here are each given 1 or 2 or 3 cities to go and check out.
I show up at the restaurant anonymously and try to get to the bottom of why the people who nominated him or her think that this chef is really exciting and someone who should be on our radar.
I'm in a golf resort. It's something I can't forget. It's something that's outside my windows every day. So do people expect Chateaubriand? Do they expect lobster bisque, Caesar salad? Of course they do. It's a golf resort. You can't get anything like that here. You get lobster, not so bisque.
It's not that conscious of a decision for me to open this place. It just kind of flows out. For instance, when we opened the place, we didn't have a name for a while. I thought it was really just going to be maybe a taco stand or something.
There's this respect for seasonality and for ingredients and for food that has always been a part of me. I grew up with it. That really pushed me to do what I'm doing today. I've never had a job outside of a kitchen.
What I'm always looking for ultimately, well, two things. One, is the food really delicious? Is this something that I'm going to be thinking about for hours, days, maybe weeks afterwards and thinking I can't wait to go back to this restaurant and eat this dish or something like it? And also, is the chef doing something that shows a spark of creativity and originality?
When we serve a lot of the organ meats and stuff that not, every restaurant's doing. We're not doing a New York steak with some mashed potatoes and steamed vegetables, or, lots of tongue and heart and feet and ears and tails and all the fun stuff that cooks want to eat.
We are seasonal, and then yet we take each season when things are at their peak and preserve them for use on the off season. Whether it's we make sauerkraut, we make regular pickles, different jams, sweet and sour things, and then also we do a lot with meats and stuff too in terms of curing and charcuterie.
I think a lot is prior food knowledge of flavors and stuff that you've tasted before in your life. It's the only art form that has a dimension of taste as well as, visual and tactile. It has a lot of dimensions, but no other art form that I know of has that extra dimension.
The whole dish is just a very nice visual preparation. It's a very nice textural preparation. You have the creamy potatoes, the crisp crust on the scallops. The vegetables are left with a little bit of a bite to them as well. So the whole dish is focused around, a lot of the different elements in cooking.
I love seeing things fry and simmer, and I love to skim and chop, and there's nothing better than a perfectly cooked sirloin that's medium rare all the way through, and there's a lot of joy.
We make a farce, which is sort of a light chicken mousse, and then we roll it into a cylinder shape. That gets slow poached using an immersion circulator, and then it's pan roasted and finished in the oven, so really moist, juicy on the inside and super crispy on the outside, and a unique presentation.
If a dish is not cooked right, it won't show up on the table. I'm here every night, I see everything, I touch everything, I taste everything. I'm very much a part of everything this restaurant does. And every dish that goes out has my name on it, and I'm fully aware of that. If I'm not here, we won't open.
Ultimately, I'd have to say, having the fresh ingredients, the produce, the seafood that's coming out of the bay here to play with, gives us the advantage of being artistic.
I think it's more of a craftsmanship. You can take a look at a beautiful plate, and it's presented in a way where it's beautiful, so it may look artistic, but there is definitely, I think fundamentally, there's a craft behind each dish.
Butter and salt. And we have fun doing it. That's for me, The more fun, the only thing the only credo I have about cooking or whatever is if the person that's making it has fun making it, it's gonna taste better and it's gonna come through when you eat it. So, when we're back here every night, we are having a blast doing it and using more butter and salt than people do at home.
I like to focus on fresh vegetables, fresh seafood. I like to have everything light and fresh tasting. And to use a lot of vegetables and to use vegetables as a focus and not an afterthought.
I always want to feel like what we're doing here is kind of brand new to each day, and it's open to our artistic creativity, and philosophically speaking, I think it keeps us motivated.
All the senses that you encounter when you encounter food or wine, they all kind of hit on every little sense, from your ears to the visual, the smell, taste buds. It's a kind of an all-encompassing experience, hopefully.
engines that provide power with fuel economy. To a 20-gig hard drive that provides music, photos, and directions. From systems that help keep you on the road. To systems that keep your kids in their seats. The way our vehicles come together sets us apart. Introducing the first lifetime powertrain warranty. It's the best warranty in the business. Chrysler, engineered beautifully.
First and foremost, I work with a lot of the farmers here in Southern California, and we try to figure out what's growing, what's picking, all that. And then once they let me know, then I'll sit down and I'll try to make the menu.
I discovered the Hong Kong market very early on. I was amazed by the selection of vegetables they had there. I've been to other Asian markets and outdoor Asian markets and whatnot, and none of them seem to have the selection that the Hong Kong market has all in one spot. It's just, I discover new things every time I go there.
So what makes it different from like the French stuff that you always see? You know, like you always see the forme d'amber and all of that.
This is a lot punchier, a lot spicier of a blue.
So we want to do
texture.
we want to do a salad. We want to do like endive pears, walnuts, kind of a takeoff of the classic.
This will be perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Basically, I know a chef called Cesare Castella who owns a restaurant called Marema on West 10th, and he is affiliated with his farm. Basically, he breeds a pig between an English Black and a Yorkshire to produce this pig that's got great quality about it, great fat, great pork flavour. And, you know, I've got a couple of these pigs every couple of weeks. And this farm also helps autistic people. It's a residency for autistic people. Basically what they do is they plant seeds of vegetables and they let them grow, and then they harvest them, they water them, they feed them, and then they have a chef in each household that cooks the food that they grow. Basically, it's just such a good cause, and that's why I picked this place. This is a dish called pork tonada. It's a dish that's been on my menu since day one. Just slice the pork really thin and just layer it on the plate. A little bit of fat's good, you know, it adds flavour. Then we're going to do some lemon. Again, this is for the vibrancy. It'll lift the whole dish. And then I have some tuna mayonnaise. I just use canned tuna. I think it's a great texture with the pork. Okay, then capers. And then some salted anchovies that I ran under cold water and just marinated in some olive oil. I got some pan-roasted juice that was left over from the roast. I'm just going to drizzle some of this over the top. And then I'm going to do the salad, just some wild arugula that we got from the green market, a little pepper, some salt, and then some olive oil. This olive oil is from Chile. It's 100% organic. They turned organic 2 years ago. And then just pop it on the plate. So it's a nice spring summer dish. And that's it. Pork tonada.
3 days, Aspen, Colorado, 300 different wines that you get to taste, 12 different chefs doing demos, all kinds of wine seminars. That is all incredible.
And in the middle of it, then in between all the seminars and the activities, there's a huge tasting tent. So many wineries from California and around the world are pouring their wines. And then you also have, some of the stars like Mario Batali, Bobby Flay, Thomas Keller is coming this year because it's our 25th anniversary.
The plan is to eat food and drink a lot of wine.